DIDNT strategy guide and why it released so late. I mean, we all finished the game, right? Let's discuss it in this video. Let me know what you think in the comments down below and don't forget to hit that like button. Guerrilla Games and Future Press joined forces to make this awesome strategy guide with a ton of interesting facts about Horizon Zero Dawn. I already discussed some information about the Banuk from this strategy guide, interesting stuff that could be DLC, check it out if you haven't already. But for now, over on Reddit, Gravity False Cypher, I hope I pronounced your name right, shares some interesting facts that are worth noting. Like, did you know that your mount travels almost twice the speed of Aloy sprinting? So I'm still waiting for my copy, so let's take a look at the notes from this Reddit user. So a great skill, of course, is the critical hit plus, and we did not really know what it did, like in terms of the number of extra damage. Well, it's 50 more damage. And speaking of damage, you will see your weapon stats change if you play on easy versus very hard. Well, that's because you do 150% more damage and take 50% less damage on easy. You do 80% of your total damage on very hard and 150% more damage is taken. But yeah, with the Shield Weaver you will be good most of the time. It absorbs 500 HP worth of damage. And like you already saw, it also prevents you versus a stagger and knockback attack. You of course know that one of the best tactics in Horizon Zero Dawn is to freeze an enemy and then shoot it with your blast sling. Well, there are freeze thresholds in the game. If it's 75 for a machine and your freeze attack is 25, well, then you need 3 hits to make the enemy frozen. You can of course also tie down a machine. Some facts about the Ropecaster: it fires 0.8 seconds or 0.48 seconds for the launch version, with a max fire rate, if you apply a lot of handling mods of course, for 0.4 for the normal versions and 0.24 for the launch Ropecaster. So the launch Ropecaster is really far better. So I'm a guy that doesn't really use a lot of fire and ice resist modifications. No, I'm more for the resist melee attacks and the resist range attacks. So if you use a lot of resist range attacks, they will be happy to know that it indeed resists everything. So all the ranged attacks like bullets, lasers, arrows, etc. But yeah, you could feel that the information is kinda late. I mean, the release of this book is also kinda weird. I mean, a ton of people have already finished the game. I already got the Platinum Trophy. I know a lot of people also got it. So some facts are still interesting to know, like, oh yeah, I thought that this was the case. But yeah, it will not change your tactic because you're not playing anymore. So why did the guide release like a month after the game's release? Well, quote, the guide released after the game so it can make necessary changes to information that might have changed from any patches released during the game's launch window, end quote. So this also why, maybe, my speculation here, we haven't seen a new patch for quite some time now. They have been bumping out patches every week. Now the book is out, so they are maybe afraid that the information in the book will be inaccurate if they change anything in the game. Or are they just preparing something big? But I wouldn't be surprised if they kinda agreed with Future Press to say, okay, we will do a lot of patches. I mean, they released one every week, so that was pretty big. And now it kinda slowed down, so maybe they agreed, yeah, okay, we will not do any patches to change anything for quite some time, so all the information in the book is still accurate, because you don't want a strategy guide to be inaccurate. On the other hand, patches are normal now, like they're kind of the game's DNA. Every game has a day one patch and patches after that. So a like physical strategy guide is always inaccurate. It will always not be up to date. Just like books are for school and something like that, and they of course redo that stuff every year. But on the internet you can just change a line and you're still up to date. So physical books are of course always lacking, so I think it would have been smarter to just release it alongside the game and say, okay, yeah, well, they might have changed stuff like that, but yeah, shit happens, right? It always happens. I mean, I still think that most of the information in the book is still super interesting and still accurate. And why it's still interesting, I think, to get this, and like I said, I'm still waiting for my copy, so I haven't seen it myself, but what I saw, for example, from the Banuk tribe, the explanation, the behind the scene look, and more information about the overall world of Horizon Zero Dawn is still super awesome. You also get this poster. So yeah, there's still a lot of awesome stuff to get. Hopefully I will be able to show you the book really soon. But anyway, I hope that my like kind of theory about Guerrilla Games now kind of holding back with the patches because they don't want the information in the future press strategy guide to be inaccurate is false. They're still dedicated to release patches on a steady stream and maybe add new content. Hopefully we will hear more about that. If there is anything new regarding Horizon Zero Dawn, I will let you know. Subscribe to stay up to date, like the video if you did, and oh yeah, check out that Ben Muir video about the potential DLC area. I apologize